If y'all want to hear something stupid, if y'all want to hear just something ignorant, I don't watch the show because, one, I ain't getting up that early in the morning. But this is the BS that passes for analysis on MSNBC's Morning Joe.
The Democrats are trying to find their footing, and it's quite embarrassing, actually. I mean, Gavin Newsom, have you seen what he's doing online? And say, just take a deep breath. Yeah. Don't try to turn the ship 180 degrees and they don't know what to do. I have a good idea. Instead of trying to school Donald Trump, talk into the camera about affordability. Talk about making groceries more affordable. Talk about what you're going to do for housing. Talk about what you're going to do for energy prices that continue to go up. We heard the congressman yesterday talk about energy prices skyrocketing in New Jersey. Don't try, as I've been saying, Donald Trump's not on the ballot in 26. He's not on the ballot in 28. Why try to drag Muhammad Ali in the ring when you got Chuck Wepner standing right in front of you? And Wepner's a bleeder. He's a bleeder. You want him. So why are you going, I'm going after Donald? No, you're not. You're not running against Donald Trump. Go after Tweedledee or Tweedledum. Chuck Wepner, a bleeder. Go after him. No disrespect to Chuck Wepner.
Yeah, all due respect, of course.
He kind of held in there long with
Inspired Rocky, many people say.
I literally have no idea what the hell he's talking about. First of all, let's unpack this here. So you're complaining that Gavin Newsom is trolling Trump by tweeting the same way Trump tweets. But you ain't said nothing about Trump, Joe. And aren't you the same Joe Scarborough who, with his wife, Mika Brzezinski, went down to Mar-a-Lago to kiss that ass? Under the guise of, we got to do a reset. We got to do a reset. So I'm confused. So, Joe, you want Gavin focused on policy. But Trump gets to do his antics, and that's good? See, I need everybody watching and listening to understand. See, this is what happens. Let's be real clear. Joe Scarborough's a Republican anyway. I remember he had a show called Scarborough Country on MSNBC, and I remember I destroyed him on his own damn show. And then later, all of a sudden, gets the morning show. People are like, oh, my God, Joe and Mika. No. Joe Scarborough, Republican. Don't buy the independent bullshit. It's all nonsense. He's a Republican, okay? So why would a Democrat take advice from a Republican on MSNBC anyway? I don't care if Biden used to watch Joe Scarborough and he would get advice from watching Joe Scarborough. That's part of the problem. If Biden ass had watched this damn show, then he probably would have been able to fight a lot harder. But that's what happens when you watch soft ass mainstream television. But let me get back to this whole deal. So Scarborough wants to sit here and say he shouldn't be doing this, when what Gavin Newsom is doing what the hell I've been saying for years to do. How you got to fight back. How you got to mock his trifling ass. How you got to go after him. Oh, no, you should really be talking about policy. You should be focusing on affordability. You should be focusing on these things. Really? Well, maybe if you and Mark Halperin weren't just laughing and kikiing when Trump ran the first time, when y'all let him come on the air anytime he wanted to by phone. Oh, I'm sorry, you thought we forgot? You mean when he also beat Hillary and Mika was giving him advice on different folks to hire like Dina Powell? Oh, I'm sorry, you thought I forgot that too? No, hell no. See, I shop at CVS. I got them long-ass receipts, Joe. See, what y'all got to understand is this is the BS that comes out. And so the Joe Scarboroughs of the world, they want Gavin to be the fine, upstanding, don't say those things, don't do those things. But then we got Cray Cray over here, and they laugh and kiki and think everything is good. Nah. You got to swing. You got to mock him. You got to sit there and get under his skin. But no, they want to play nice. That's what they want to do. So y'all got to understand, this is why I keep telling y'all why it's a bunch of these shows you shouldn't waste your time watching. You are giving your eyeballs and your ears to shows that really don't give a damn about you. Robert just laid it out. We are literally in a war. And when you are in a war, you use every tool that you can. So ignore Joe Scarborough. Gavin Newsom tossed his advice in the trash can because it ain't worth nothing. And in fact, I dare say part of Democrats' problem today is because y'all been doing more damn listening to Joe Scarborough, and y'all should be listening to the folk who come on this show because we giving you the real as opposed to that Republican light stuff, which ain't doing nothing. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Joe Scarborough ain't breaking down the defunding of Black America on Morning Joe. Tell me how in-depth Mika, remember her Women Lead or whatever the hell that thing was in her book? Tell me how in-depth Mika is going on 300,000 black women being out of the workforce. Oh, by all means. So I know they'll have Reverend Al come on, and they had him on talking about slavery. No. I want to know, tell me when Mika and Joe talked about Trump wanting to get rid of the Disadvantaged Business Enterprise Program. Tell me when Mika and Joe talked about Trump ending the settlement in Lowndes County where you had black folks having sewage backed up in their yards and their houses. Tell me when Mika and Joe talked about Trump pulling out of that racial discrimination case in Texas that ProPublica broke down. Tell me when Mika and Joe talked about the attacks that we're seeing on African Americans left and right. In fact, if you understand, tell me when Mika and Joe are talking about the new attack. You got this historic black woman, Lisa Cook, on the Federal Reserve, and Donald Trump put out, go to my iPad, tweet, Cook must resign now. Another black woman who he is attacking. More black people watch MSNBC than any other network. And y'all are being bamboozled, led astray, run amok by listening to that type of nonsense. Robert, this is the moment where people need to be getting real information, unfiltered, unvarnished, truthful, even if it hurts their feelings, and wasting their time watching Joe Scarborough with that BS is just really nonsensical.
Important that we now have the democratization of information, that we no longer are just tied into 3 major networks or 4 or 5 cable news networks. You can actually get real information and real drill down discussions. I think most people who are truly informed watch very little of the mainstream media. I personally, I get almost all my news from international press because they give you an unbiased, unvarnished view of what's taking place as opposed to essentially propaganda. To that point, we have to realize that these things are happening in real time. And this morning, I can't tell you the number of people and the number of messages I got from folks asking me, what exactly is going on in Texas and why is this black woman locked away inside of the chamber? That is the first time it actually penetrated through my timeline, as it would be on social media, that people realized that the gerrymandering fight was even taking place. The reason for that is the mainstream media is so busy chasing Epstein. They're so busy chasing whatever Donald Trump is doing on a given day. They don't actually cover the real stories that are affecting people on a daily basis here. So this is why it's so crucial for people to, one, take the information into their own hands. Don't just trust that the person on the news wearing makeup is going to tell you what's going on. I can tell you right now, Majority of the folks on cable news telling you what is going on are just unemployed people who just happen to be free at 10 o'clock in the morning. That is the main criteria for being on cable news. I've done it for a long time. You don't have to be qualified. You ain't got to know a damn thing. One time they had me debating Miss Ohio on campaign finance reform. You have to take into your own hands the information that you are receiving, because otherwise they get to dictate to you that information. Roland, I think this is why it's so important what you are doing and why it's so important for us to continue to support, because if we do not, we lose our access to information.
Well, Yasmin, bottom line is just here. It all comes down to, yes, right information, proper information, but also, again, this is no time to be scared. And when I watch, listen, like I said, it's been 10 years since I've been on Morning Joe. 10 years. It'll be next month, it'll be 4 years since I was on ABC This Week after I directly challenged Chris Christie, and I was at NABJ talking to an ABC exec, and they said that, you know, that was a little much. That was, you know, we'd like to have, you know, that was just a little too aggressive. And I'm sitting there going, I said, hell, that wasn't aggressive. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, that was a 3. But again, they don't want folk to be challenged on their nonsense. They want to play the nice little collegial game where they all go along to get along. And again, then before the show in the green room and after, they all kiki and hee-hee and like we all friends. Listen, I'm real clear. It's some folk I ain't friends with. It's some people, we ain't sitting here joking and chilling in the green room, because when that red light come on, that telly light come on, I'm ready to go on that show and put your ass in a rhetorical body bag.
Yeah, so I understand your reasoning, and at the same time, in the capitals across America, Democrats, especially Democrats, have to make those decisions. Like you said, are we going to work with the other side, try to get what we can get done, or are we going to stay on the attack? And so that, to your point, is so funny. It's like you're not in the back rooms, but you sound like you are familiar with the back rooms. That is a fine line that.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar with the back rooms, but I mean, and look, I understand. Yeah. I understand negotiation. I understand bipartisanship. But when you have people who literally are essentially trying to destroy the hard-fought rights black people spill blood to get, no, I don't compromise on that.
Absolutely. And even when it comes to negotiations, you have to have your non-negotiables. There's just some things you're not going to budge on, and you need to stick to that. And we do need to use our platforms. Gavin is doing exactly what he's supposed to do. Whether the other side likes it or not, he's supposed to be telling the truth. He's supposed to be galvanizing his base. That is what he's supposed to be doing. So it's just unfortunate when the other side does the exact same thing. It's a problem. But when we do it, it's okay, pardon me, but when we do it, it's a problem. So all of us politicians need to do the same thing. Use our platforms, tell the truth on our platforms, because there are too many other forms of media that are not telling the truth.
Well, Mondale, all these media people, Joe and Mika included, they laughed about Trump. That's just Trump being Trump. I never forget when the New York Times did an article about how Trump treats women. And on Morning Joe, Joe Scarborough and Mark Halperin were like, well, that's all y'all got? That's just Trump being Trump. What they've done, what these mainstream media outlets have done, MSNBC, Fox News, CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS, New York Times, Washington Post, we can go on and on and on. What they've done is they've let outrageous stuff that Trump does, that 1 centimeter, if Joe Biden had done it, or Kamala, or President Barack Obama, if they had done it, oh my God, it would be wall-to-wall coverage. This is where they go. Oh, that's just Trump being Trump. They have normalized his evil.
Yeah, and I think, and it's not even just Trump. They've normalized all of the Republicans' evil. And what we see is it benefits them. Like they get away with let's just say this. Nobody, and I mean, when I say nobody, I'm talking about nobody that's going to determine the outcome of an election is watching Joe Scarborough. There are We know who's watching Joe Scarborough. Those people are Democrat loyalists. Let's be clear. That are looking for something soft on their ears. They're not even critical thinkers at all. And that's you have to know that, because criticizing how the response from the California governor, when you have no criticism for Donald Trump. And when you said, I think people might have missed what you said, Roland. You said he went down to Mar-a-Lago. People need to know that you're talking about after this election.
Yeah.
That's not the first time. They went the first time, but they went back again this time after Trump said what he said about this man.
We have to do a reset where we can all that. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that reset also must cause them to forget what reality is. Because while Joe is saying you shouldn't be doing this and you should be talking about policy, it looks like Gavin Newsom's campaign has put him in the top on social media. He's outpacing JD Vance's memes. He's outpacing Trump. He's getting more retweets. And I think people need to know that we need to be in front of these voters, like Robert said, that are not watching mainstream media. Folk that sometimes only get their media. We saw that 25% of black men last election cycle got all of their media from social media. So, but for this response to Trump, mocking Trump, black men may miss the entire conversation about why California needs to redistrict, because what's happening in Texas, regardless of what the black Katie Britt has to say, I think her name is Katrina, regardless of what she has to say, it is a national issue. And she can tout those numbers about how Trump won. But she didn't tell you that over 6% of people that voted in 2020 sat out the 2024 election. So it's not like more people are voting for Trump, but for those white folk. So I think we need to make sure that people don't believe that the only way or the right way to get their messaging is from mainstream media, and they are on this network that is talking about the defunding of Black America. I hadn't heard that yet, but I'm damn sure going to take it and not give you any credit for it, Roland, because that's a powerful statement. Because just like they were against defunding police officers, they're damn sure not against defunding the Black America, as Trump has set out the whole agenda to just do just that.
Well, you could try not to give credit, but it's been on YouTube for 7 months, so that ain't gonna work.